It's 22 to 9. As I said from the outset, we're joined in the studio now live by Immigration Minister Peter Dutton. Good morning to you, Minister.
Good morning, Tony.
Here, of course, because we see this morning that you've, like many of us, as I said from the outset, have had a gutful of the Apex gang and all that goes with it. But now you're acting on that, and as such, 4 youngsters with links to the gang will be deported. 3 of them are New Zealanders, the other from Sudan. In fact, we're told one of the Kiwis has already been sent back. Is this the start of more?
It certainly is. There's obviously been a lot of work that's taken place with the Federal Police, with my department, the Australian Border Force, in concert with the Victorian Police to try and identify people who may have committed crimes or people who are members of gangs. And we have a cancellation power under the Migration Act, Section 501, which means if people have been doing the wrong thing, if they're here on a visa, we can cancel that visa and deport them. And we've done that in record numbers, particularly for outlaw motorcycle gang members, for rapists, for people that have committed serious crimes against Australians. In the end, this country's been made great by migration because people have come here, in many cases trying to escape the ravages of war, of civil war, of unrest and conflict, terrorism, and they want to come to a country that is safe, and they want to come to a great city like Melbourne, which is safe, but unfortunately, over recent times, the activity of the Apex gangs and others have meant that Melbourne is in the headlines for the wrong reasons.
And they're all over 18?
These people will be, yes.
Yep.
And as I say, there are others that we're looking at the moment. And I think this should send a very clear message to these people that if they cherish the life that they lead here in Australia, they need to start respecting Australians. They need to abide by the law and they need to adopt Australian values, which means that you respect the law, you respect those people around you, you respect the police, and you conduct yourself in a way which would make you a good Australian citizen at that point, maybe a couple of years down the track. And this is why we're having this discussion at the moment around Australian values and what it means to take Australian citizenship, because it is a prized reward. And we want people to come to our country who are going to do the right thing, are going to make a positive contribution. And I think that's what all Australians would expect.
You're saying there that you are looking at others. They're obviously Apex gang related. Are they aware that they're on the verge of being booted out as well?
No, they won't be. There will be a lot of work being done in the background at the moment to look at individuals. There's work that Jason Wood has been doing as part of a parliamentary committee to look at whether or not there are further changes which need to be made to Section 501. But it's very difficult. I know the police feel the frustration here in Victoria as well when they've got one hand tied behind their back by what is a pretty weak law and order agenda. And so there's only so much that the federal government can do. We are working very closely with the Victorian Police, but it is difficult when the bail laws are the way that they are. The move-on powers have been weakened, and there is not a problem in Queensland or New South Wales with this gang violence. The gang violence is present here in Victoria, and I think the Victorian government needs to do more than what they've done in recent months and years.